Right now.
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 Right.
Right now.
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 Because it's time to right now.
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 Welcome to our weekly writers group. Welcome, as we are joined by writers in the community. I'm Kaufman, and you found yourself at our 83rd meeting. This is our weekly virtual writers group where we come together with writers in the community, whether you want to hop onto the live stream with us or join us in the chat. This is our time where we can check in on each other's writing. We will be doing not one, not two, but hopefully 3 writing sprints today. And we're also going to be checking in and having some fun writing conversation while we try not to procrastinate. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And yeah, welcome to the Right Now community. Y'all know me, Kaufman. Today I'm working on, as every other day, Scarecrow, as I try to reach my May 15th publication deadline. I'm working on a dark action scene. So that's the story beat that I'm working on. I would love to hear from you. What is the story beat that you're working on if you're writing? Or are you author branding, brainstorming, or something else altogether? Drop a comment and I'll let our other writers introduce themselves. I'll send it over to you, Calvin.
Hey guys, I'm Calvin. You know me for writing the Storm series, but I took a small break from that to work on my short story, Techno Mage.
Excellent. And Calvin, it's sci-fi, right?
Yes,
Sci-fi.
sir.
Yep. Excellent. Sci-fi. And Chatzel.
Everyone knows me as Chat Soul, Crazy High Word Count. I have been getting a lot of writing done lately. Today I'm working on a more of an somewhat introspective scene for one of my fan fictions.
Yay, fan fiction and introspection. So you're like our fan fiction what was that word? Enthusiast aficionado. There we go. That's the right word. And the one, the only, Crazy Rupert.
Sir, I'm Crazy Rupert, sir, and I'm working on the Raziel Chronicles, sir.
It's not a real writers group without the crazy of it all. And Adeshale, so happy to have you back, my friend.
Thank you for having me. Hey, Adeshale here. I'm working on my dark fantasy romance story. I'm actually working on 2 projects. That's my personal writing. Then there's an author's book who I need to read through and give some comments on. So I'll be working between those 2 projects today.
Absolutely love it. Another fantasy one over here. Love. I'm the biggest fantasy nerd ever. And the wonderful JL. I'll kick it over to you.
Hello, everyone. I am JLD, author of Spicy Romance, and today I am working on the sequel to this book, The Seed Bearer. We are going to add some tension to a little bit of a scene that shouldn't be spicy. We're walking the wire today.
Ooh, I absolutely love it. What's interesting is I think we're all working on different genres. I'm pretty sure we're all working on different genres, right? So I'm dark fantasy. Calvin, you're sci-fi. Soul. I know yours is fan fiction, but what genre is it?
I think One
fan?
Piece is considered just fiction. I don't think it's sci-fi or
Fiction.
fantasy other way.
Crazy. What genre is yours? Is yours fantasy?
I think it's a bit, I think it's like dark fantasy.
Okay. And then Adeshale, you said dark fantasy.
Dark fantasy romance. So
Ooh.
got the half and half there.
Ooh.
Oh,
So do we got some fun dark romance plot lines in there?
Say that again?
Do we have some fun dark romance plot lines in there?
It's a nice slow burn situation here. So we still got fantasy for it, but the romance is there. So yeah, it's going.
Well, anybody who knows romance, JL is the one to talk to over here.
Do you have a shadow daddy in there?
I have a shadow mama in there.
Yeah, shadow mama? Ooh, yeah. Hey.
Oh, man. And then, JL, yours is, I know it's romance, right? Or what type of romance?
Fiction.
What was that?
This one has it's romance, of course, but mine is this particular story has a I can't talk now, Kaufman. You ruined my flow.
Aw. Kaufman
Ruined my
interrupting
groove,
the
man.
no
Science
pacing.
fiction subgenre. I'm trying. Easy for me to say.
Oh man. So I'm curious, how do you guys decide what genre you want to write in? I'm actually really curious. Is it from like a lifetime of like your favorite genres you've always consumed, or like how did you guys decide?
I personally like the science fiction fantasy genres because you're not really bound by the rules. You can make up your own rules as you go.
I'm pretty sure that's sci fantasy. And when you combine those two genres together, I think that that subgenre these days is sci fantasy. I agree with you though, Calvin. I love challenging what's fantasy and what's sci-fi.
Mine was a little bit of a desire to see if I could do it better than what was out there. Not that I'm like a master of it or anything. I would never say that. I'm not even being facetious. I'm like for real. But I feel like there was I really hate a lot of romances. I never read romance. I even hate romantic movies, which sounds weird coming from me. But every now and then when you find a really good one, it's like, "Oh, that's how it's done. That's what I'm going to learn from." And I wanted to kind of how can I make a strong female character without making a she-ra, like get that balance in there really well, and also have the spice to the point where I'm not making anybody go, "Ugh," you know. So I kind of that was it was a challenge for me to do. And as far as subgenres, I've always loved science fiction and fantasy. They were my first loves. So absolutely, that's going to get in the mix at some point.
Does everybody remember their first like genre book that they ever read? Is it like close to their heart? I think mine was Lord of the Rings. I'm pretty sure it was The Hobbit. I think that was like my first. It was The Hobbit and Ender's Game were my first two.
Nice. I can't remember this very first one, but I know the series for me, which was the Goosebumps series. So if anyone read that, I had all of the books. Like I had like 60 of them just stacked. I mean, I would go to my grandparents and like because they had Scholastic sales, so I would try to tell them like, listen here, this is a great buy for the money that you're spending. I get 4 books instead of 3 or something like that. They would buy it for me, and I would spend all weekend, literally all weekend, in every one of my Goosebumps books. So I think that would be considered horror light. I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Goosebumps probably like young adult horror is my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Goosebumps is probably young adult. But I mean I remember reading those. I would read the Goosebumps and then I'd want to go watch the TV show. And then I would do what was that? Goosebumps, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah,
I loved that. That's like early, and I thought that stuff was actually scary at the time. How little we knew.
True.
Does anyone remember Animorphs?
Yes.
I do.
Totally.
Yeah.
I only read like one book of it though.
I'll admit I never actually read that, but I did play the Game Boy game.
I remember the covers were really cool. I was like, I remember that. Like, you had these weird humans turning into animals, and it was like the cover art of it was fascinating.
Yeah. I remember one of the stories I read, they were talking about basically one of the creatures or aliens that came down had introduced the idea of Windows. And, at that point, it was like Windows 98 for me, Windows 95. So I was like, I think that was the first time I was like looking at world building that was stepping outside of the book and bringing stuff in. I was like, that's really cool. I remember that to this day still. It's amazing.
That's cool. Mine was a fantasy book. It was like I don't know I guess they would call it children's now because the kids were like 12-ish years old in the story. It was a fantasy book that nobody has ever heard of. It was called The Egg Child. I have a hard copy special edition is out of print. And it's about 4 families that each had a different power over nature. And they find this baby that morphs from an egg to a baby and sings this little song and it glows. And they have to find out who it belongs to. And it's an enchanting story. I've probably read it about 12 times because it's my favorite book in the whole world. I still read it.
That's so cool. I think my earliest like young adult books series I read, and I don't know if this is young adult or if it's darker because of the themes, but did any of you guys ever read A Series of Unfortunate Events?
Yes.
I
Like,
know of it.
I watched
and
the
this-
series. I didn't read it, but it's fabulous.
I mean, both the series they did a good job with the Netflix adaptations. I thought were well done enough. But I've asked myself for young adult, what distinguishes young adult in the category? Is it that we follow young adult characters, or is it the themes just aren't as in depth and mature as?
It's typically the themes.
Mhm.
Typically,
I
the
think it would be
themes are
kind of
what
both.
determine the actual like age range in the young adult versus adult genre. Although having the characters a certain age does kind of help pushing one way or another.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen books or series where it's done well, where you guys would consider it's an adult themed story world, but it's with young characters?
Well, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. I mean, we
I
do
love
have some in it,
That was
but
not
those
YA though.
are like parts of a larger cast, right?
Yeah.
Those are like
Yeah,
parts
but
of
yeah, but the main characters are like 13, 14.
I guess. I mean, yeah. I'll always argue this that I think Bran is technically the main character of Game of Thrones, but yeah, I could see that, especially all the Stark kids. But I think what differentiates it is because there's such a large cast, and what they do well is there's a range of adult characters mixed with young adult characters.
Yeah. I think, from my understanding, it's the age range of the characters, but the subject matter is like it's almost equally important because you don't want to put adult themes in
Mhm.
young adult stuff because that's teenager, right? So because then you have teenager and then new adult is when you're getting from like 18 into the 20s, early 20s. And so like you don't want to do that. So you would have, if you're writing for a young adult audience, you can still
Mhm.
use adult characters or even children's characters, but you would have to bring it up to that mentality. But as far as I understand, it's like the character age is the first thing to consider, and then the second is like what exactly are we writing about? Because if you have a story about a child who's being, say, like there are some stories in the news about children who've been kept in their rooms for like 12 years, or that probably would not be, even though the main character is a young adult, you probably would not be in the young adult category. So yeah, they're
I
both.
think the majority of themes can actually go across child, teen, and adult overall. But then there are some that are definitely no, they can't be told to children. They aren't going to appeal to adults, and teenager just isn't the right fit for it. But I think the majority of themes really do kind of cross at least teen and adult fairly often, and only a few are strictly reserved for adult only.
Yeah, and Lynn, I saw your point. Lynn said, I don't think it's complexity and darkness of the themes, but how they're presented. Man, maybe it's literally as simple as that. Because then I think of book series where the characters are younger. Harry Potter. Is Harry Potter young adult?
Yeah,
Maybe you could argue book 1 is book 7 young adult?
That's
I think
toeing the line.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
tease into new adult, I would say, but
Mhm.
it's dark. I mean, and kids were going just absolutely crazy for it. And I know that's especially in those later books is when
Mhm.
people were getting adults like parents are like, should my 10-year-old be reading this late? And we just wait until they grow up a little before we get to those last books. There was a lot of chatter about
I
it.
remember, and I asked myself the same with like other series in the genre. I think of like what was that, Chronicles of Narnia. I think of The Golden Compass. Both series with very young protagonists, but very darker themes generally.
Oh, definitely
Yeah.
there.
Mhm.
I actually just finished reading his Dark Materials again, and
Dark
yeah, no,
Materials
just
is a good. It
that
is a good.
just-
I'm not as much a fan of how it ends, of how the trilogy ends, but I do like the overall series.
I found the ending a little sweet. Yeah, I could have ended a little differently, but the ending did make sense and everything, and it was at least we saw that at least everything that led up to it made sense. So, yeah, no, definitely. Despite the characters being fairly young, pre-puberty even, but no, that was definitely not anything close to a kid's book, and I would even argue that could not even be considered on the low range of young adult. That would have to be like on the edge of might be adult, especially the third book.
Interesting. Hey, what's up, John? Welcome, friend. Said Harry Potter was middle grade. What's considered middle grade? Like I'm just not familiar with the genre, with the category.
I guess middle grade. Well, so again, going with the age of the characters, you're looking at middle grade is going to be your like 12 to 14.
Okay.
Middle
Maybe 12
schoolers.
to 15. Yeah. So middle, and then your children's is going to be under that. But
So children's, middle grade, young adult. in
Young
terms of
adult, then new adult, then adult, and that usually goes with like I said, the progression of the age of the characters. And as far
that
as
makes
J.K. Rowling, I think she said that she wanted the Harry Potter books to progress in darkness and maturity themes
Mhm.
as the characters
as a
grew
character.
up. Yeah,
I
so I
mean,
thought,
clearly she did something right. Harry Potter
yeah,
was very much considered a mainstream success.
Well,
Um,
Harry Potter is one of those you shouldn't jump into the middle of it. You should start at the beginning and work your way through it to get to the more aggressive themes until it's like, okay, now I'm ready for book 7. That's more about death.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
does everyone work on a series? Or are you guys working on a series of books?
Mhm.
I think we all are. So when I think about genre, do you guys think that there's an intentionality with starting your first book at a in a specific genre and then evolving to other genres or other subgenres as the series evolves?
You don't want to change your genre if you're in the same series. Are you talking about like a trilogy per se?
Trilogy.
At least the
You don't want to
main
change
genre
genres.
needs to stay.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If
Maybe
you
the
want to write
subgenre
something,
could change, but I think that really depends on what exactly you're going for. And
What are you
is this going
adding?
to be a series like where the world evolves, or is it just like the characters?
Mhm.
yeah. Like I wouldn't write a contemporary romance and then throw a vampire in it in the third book. That would everybody would be like, "What is this crap?" You know.
If you did that,
Well,
you'd have to be very careful how you went about it and make it look natural. But it
Mhm.
could, I don't think you could honestly
Yeah,
make that
you
the
could.
same thing.
I
so
could see
Like
that.
the main
So,
It would
so then,
not
do we
be
think it's more the
considered.
subgenre? Do you think it's
Yeah,
the
I'd have
evolution
to.
of the subgenre within the series? Then.
Yeah, you'd have to label the whole thing supernatural romance to get away with it, and then people would go like, "Where's the vampire in the first book?" So yeah, changing genres is no.
Because when
So,
people are so comfortable with how you did maybe the first and second one, and suddenly you changed it drastically, they're like, "What the heck is this? What happened? Where's
Mhm.
all this?
And that
What'd you
actually kind
do?"
of ties into author names too. Once an author is known for a certain genre, they can't really change from that genre. They have to get like a new pen name if they want to delve into something else that's like completely different. Because people, they're going to be like, because like with mine, all of my books under Hollow are going to be known as fiction and adventure generally. Probably more likely than not delving into sci-fi. But if I suddenly want to write a kids book, people are not going to expect that. I don't want to.
well,
I can't change my. I can't change my series. I cannot change my genre under my pen name. If I want to do something different, gotta do
Mhm.
something else. It's really the same as both the series themselves and as the author.
I think you're totally right about like the maturity level, and then jumping to such a different maturity level. That's you don't want like parents to go, "Oh, I found this really awesome book by this author," and then they pick up your other stuff. And they're like, "Oh my god, oh shit!"
you don't
It's like
want
Spice.
to be like the time Disney released a horror movie with the
Yeah.
Disney logo.
Hey, Something Wicked This Way Comes was awesome.
I've never seen it.
Wait, which movie?
You would love it.
Which movie?
Something Wicked This Way Comes.
I've never even heard of it.
There was a whole
That's
dark
an indie movie,
section.
right?
Yeah, Disney did a whole bunch of movies. There's about 5 or 6, maybe more of them that were sort of dark YA, I would say actually, or dark middle age, middle grade of like it was that one. There was the Black Cauldron. There was 3 or 4 others. I'm trying to remember what they all were, but they were all kind of released around, I want to say the late 80s ish.
Yeah, those are
Something
80s.
Wicked This Way Comes was 83.
83 was early. Yeah, that was early 80s. And then it was,
Wait,
they kind of did a few, but then they shelved most of them. Like they're hard to find these days.
yeah, that's a good point. I do think though that with and I think I pull back from just authors and I think about branding in general. What you see big companies do is I think you can become known for a specific genre, and you guys tell me whether or not you agree or not. But I think you can become known for a specific genre, and then you can branch out into related genres. So
I
you
agree.
you become known for one, and then it's almost like you're creating different uh, different categories, right? So if
But
I'm
you
starting off being known for dark fantasy, then at some point, if I become known for dark fantasy, then maybe I could branch out into thriller or fantasy adjacent genre.
but I
Yeah,
was
if
gonna
it's
say,
related, it's fine. It's just when authors want to switch from like young adult fantasy to a children's book. That's when it's like no.
When there's kids involved, you gotta be super careful. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
well,
Yeah.
now in that coffin, like you were saying, branching out. Even if you branch out, you still got to stay in that main vein.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you're known for.
I think it's kind of up to the writer. I mean, I know of many spicy romance writers who also write clean romance, who write just pure science fiction, or they've written pure fantasy, and they just do it all under their own names. They write whatever they want to write, but it's always. If he wrote his children's books, he actually kept his normal pen name for like some of the series. I want to say it was the Dark Tower series. I'm not sure.
Stephen King.
Yeah. He kept it, but he's Stephen King. He can do that. Everybody knows Stephen King, and everybody knows he's very eclectic.
I haven't read Dark Tower, but I'm pretty sure Dark Tower is dark fantasy.
Right.
I think it's Western. I think it's Western.
It's a sci-fi Western.
It's sci-fi Western.
Mm-hmm. I've read it. I like it, but it's not something I can read every day. It's like once a year I crack it open.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
Yeah.
See, the way my book series is, though, of what I've been writing, it's like the very beginning, the Razio Chronicles, it's like dark fantasy and stuff like that. But then in some of the other future books within that series, it kind of gets less dark, but then starts to get darker as, the more books I write and stuff. But it all started out as like really dark, and we all love the darkness and stuff. But then by the time, I wrote Angel and Alien, it was kind of more lighthearted than anything. But whenever Raziel would come along, that's when you knew that, some stuff is actually going to go down, man. And it's actually going to go dark and scary in this one.
I think what Lynn, what you mentioned, he said as long as you tell your audience of the switch, I think including your audience in the journey can be a huge factor as well. I think if you're going to switch genres, or even if it's like an adjacent genre, I think it'd be interesting to ask your audience, hey, what do you want to, or does this sound interesting? And then you can get a gauge in terms of your readership, what they're interested in.
Yeah, I have a friend. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you just have to tell them how far off the trail you're going.
For sure. I have an author friend who has about 4 different pen names because she wants each pen name known for something very specific. She does her spicy romance under one. She does gay romance under another. She does lesbian romance under another. And then she has like just some like clean fantasy that she writes on this under another. So for her, she likes to juggle all that. For me, I think if it was a big switch, but again, it's really up to the author, and you guys are spot on about letting people know if it's not what they're used to from you.
Awesome. Well, I think this is an absolutely great conversation, but we're going to try to get some writing in. So let's get into our first writing sprint. And by the way, if you're enjoying the stream, tap that like button. Help us show the algorithm that writing streams are cool. All right, so we're going to hop into our first writing sprint today. It's going to be super easy, 25 minutes. So we're going to try to see if we can get some words in, some ideas, and something else all together. We're going to push, and then we'll all come back here, and we will continue the conversation. So let's cue it up. I'll have the background all set up. So we got 25 minutes on the clock. Whether you are writing, editing, revising, author branding, procrastinating, or something else in between, come join us because it's time to write now.
Well, I'm going to get
All right, and we are back from the first writing sprint. Welcome back, my friends. How did that writing sprint treat you? Were you able to make some progress that time? Hopefully, just hopefully, you got a couple words in, a couple ideas, or something else all together. I know I got a little bit of revision on my end as I've kind of wrapped my brain around this crazy, dark, kind of creepy, fun chapter I'm working on. Let's see. Nice, Megan. 470 words. Excellent. Vom, you got about 300 words. Excellent, excellent. And Noelle, by the way, welcome. We always love seeing new writers in the chat. Would love to hear what type of writing you like to do. We welcome all writing styles. But what about the rest of you guys? Any luck in that writing sprint?
I got about halfway through the beat that I'm working on.
Nice.
Like I said, I had two
I
projects.
got through the opening beat on second page.
Well, what was that?
I had two projects I was working. Like I said, I had two projects. So I went to read another readers. It was good. It's nice coming to the point where you see the whole story coming together and one nice cohesive end. So that's what I was doing.
Is it that you're just got a feedback for your stories?
Well, this here, I'm actually going to be giving feedback for another writer's story. So I want to get to my writing as soon as possible, but I want to make sure I give them their due diligence. So,
of course, going through the beta feedback. Yep. Oh, man, what about the rest of you guys? Any luck?
I finished one chapter and was actually able to do another chapter still. It actually
crazy. For
well.
some reason, I bet you everyone can hear you, and for some reason, I can't hear you.
Yeah, we can hear him.
I can hear him, yeah.
Yep.
I don't know what it is. For some reason, every single time. Just a second.
We shall wait.
Hey, Crazy, when he gets back, just move your mouth. Don't say anything.
Like the funniest thing. It's like for some reason, every single time. Crazy. You're like the only one. Strange. I still can't hear him. Well,
Now I can't hear him. I just refreshed my browser because it kept freezing, and now I heard him before. Now I can't hear him. What in the world?
Yeah, I can't hear him either.
Reboot, dude.
Crazy.
passing around the crazy technical difficulty.
Can you hear me
glitches.
now?
Yes.
Yes.
There we go. Okay, it was just my headphones. Sorry about that.
I'm
But I was
assuming it
saying-
sounds like you made a lot of progress and your book's all done.
Yeah, well, I mean, I completed a chapter and was able to actually do another chapter. So it worked out pretty good in the end.
Yay. I'm working on tension. I'm adding tension to a scene that I had previously written, and between my antagonist and protagonist, or one of my main characters, and he's trying to be seductive, and she's trying to let him think it's working,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not. But shenanigans.
But it's not.
Who doesn't love working on shenanigans?
Yes.
We love shenanigans as much as the darkness.
Love
Night
it.
time is the right time.
Yes.
I was like, I don't think I have that type of shenanigans in my fantasy novel.
Oh, they're not. She's not going to let him get that far. Not those
Oh.
kinds of shenanigans. This is more like mental hurdle shenanigans.
Mental.
All right, everybody
shenanigans.
assumes it's sex with me. I can't imagine why.
JL just
I
always
wonder
gonna be like, all right, she's working on a open door 5-spice spicy scene.
I was going to say, we've seen your YouTube page.
Yeah, well, for real. That's why I can never send you snippets to do editing on Saturday, Kaufman.
Yes, that is that is a little bit of an obstacle.
I would never send you a sex scene to edit online. I'm just kidding.
Right now, I've always asked myself. I was like, I'd probably have to do some type of special. Yeah, I was like, I wonder if I'd.
Well, I mean,
to edit.
if only today was Valentine's Day, then it would be like, yeah, we could go. That would be the perfect moment then.
Yeah, I think if I edited any sex scenes, yeah, probably have to be its own stream. I think if I did any critique or editing for I don't know. Maybe I'll do one of those videos. What do you think in the chat? You guys want to see some spice scenes edited?
I want to see how red
let me
you
know.
turn.
Let's see if there's an interest for it. I'll do a video.
Oh my! Oh dear! Chat, don't look. Oh my!
Giles
Getting down and dirty now.
Giles gonna send you a different shades of red. He's not this red yet. He's this red.
Oh, he's about as red as a tomato.
Grab my
fun.
2-inch thick erotic writer's thesaurus and bring it.
Anytime I get a writer who hires me for book editing, and if they haven't told me fully about their story genre yet, and it's a spice book, that always is like the last part of the conversation, and they're always like, "But you don't, just so you know, you can drop this project if you want, but this might be a little like R-rated." And I was like, "All right, like 30% of the projects I get are have spice in them."
We love the sex. It's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Need to have a challenge to write the spiciest book he has to edit. That he's never edited before. See how red he gets.
I'll wait till after Scarecrow launches and then see how JL's fan fiction turns out.
Scarecrow gets
There we go.
I was like, I don't know. Maybe after Scarecrow launches, I'll do like a fan fiction thing and see who can write the best Scarecrow fan fiction.
Oh, good Lord.
That would be interesting.
Oh man. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. I think I think I'm working on a tension scene as well, and I didn't expect to have not tension, but I didn't expect to have a really like real character bonding moment between two of my characters, between Scarecrow and Pebble. And then I realized that the obstacle that I had designed for the chapter, I had realized that the obstacle that I designed could make their emotional connection moment in the scene. It could minimize the validity of their emotional connection. So I was trying to go back and forth on how I wanted to elevate this obstacle, because these characters are traveling through this like darkland, this like underworld-esque type area where they're seeing all these different lights like stars, but they don't realize that the lights are actually souls. They're like the souls of creatures and animals who've died. And if one of the lights touches you, you basically experience the last emotion that they experienced before they died.
Holy crap.
Mm-hmm. And then if too many of them touch you, you're basically going to be trapped by emotion, and then you'll die. You'll end up getting stuck and losing your soul yourself in this area. I know it's a really dark
too, in a way, though.
What was that?
It's beautiful too, in a way, though.
It is, and that's why I was trying to navigate, like, because Scarecrow and the Pixie have this like very like heartwarming moment, but I wasn't sure if to have that obstacle be a factor in why the moment is so heartwarming, because I didn't want their moment to be minimized by a world building thing, and I wanted the moment to still feel true and resolute.
Give them their time. Don't distract. Mm-hmm. Yep. Give them their moment.
Mm-hmm. So I was trying to find that balance within for the scene myself, but it sounds like y'all are all working on a bunch of different like action, beat, tension type scenes for the most part. Is there are there any beats that you guys are stuck on at all with your stuff?
I do have a beat in a different fan fiction of mine that I'm kind of stuck on it. Mm-hmm. It's not that I don't know what I'm doing with it. It's just trying to get the beat started and executed the right way, because for the character, it's a very building moment for them. And I mean, it's necessary for them. They really need this, but it also ends kind of badly. They achieve what they're going to do. They kick the other guy's ass, but it does cause a massive problem that cannot be ignored any longer, and it comes out in the like most horrid way. So I'm just trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to be building into that. I know what's going to happen afterwards, just the moment itself is where I'm a little stuck.
And so I'm sorry, I missed part about that. It's like that always happens. I don't know why it happens with you.
Basically, the character they're gonna get into a fight.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to figure out exactly how to build into that fight so that it's actually written like we knew this was like the reader knows this is coming, but
Mhm.
the character doesn't know, and it all seems natural that way. And then just kind of the build up to some things revealed during the fight that make it end like really badly, and that's where I'm
So is it
kind of
like trying to transition into a fight scene,
no,
essentially?
it's transitioning out of the fight scene after the
Mhm.
secrets are revealed, after the guy's
Mhm.
ass is kicked.
Mhm.
That's where it's just the character is just like, okay, I just got out of this massively intense fight, and
Mhm.
holy crap, I am so screwed.
So it's kind of like everything's kind of been made worse because of what was revealed.
Yeah, it turns out they were lying about something really
Mhm.
massive, and their partner really is against everything they were lying about, and the fact they lied about it is just what made it worse.
Then it kind of seems like that the character who is wronged should probably maybe go even more all out at the end of the fight. It would create some additional tension. If they receive bad information, then it probably, if they're the type to respond poorly.
Well, in this case, it's usually a character that nothing really phases them for the most part. I actually have it planned where no, they are actually going to explode for once, which is really bad for the character themselves.
Mhm.
It's just trying to go from this is a really intense fight that's physical
To really
to a
like intense
really intense
monologue.
fight that is mental and verbal.
Yeah, to like an intense like monologue. That's it. I think you can still like transition from that action scene into a it's almost like a resolution scene then for the fight, while still keeping up the pacing.
Yeah.
I think you would have to stay away
I'm
from
good at
interiority.
action, but
I
just trying to transition from physical fighting
Mhm.
to non-physical, I will
To like
admit I do
verbal,
get tripped
yeah.
up with that.
I think I would just stay away from interiority personally if I was doing that and stick on. I think I would stick with the same style of sentence structure that you use for the fight, but then keep it with the same sentence structure for the verbal fight. It's like even though they're not physically doing thing, obviously the verbal, I think it would probably be the same, and then would probably have to explode or end on however fights usually. And I mean, I'm sure everyone here has been in a verbal fight with someone before, right? Whether that fight ends great, medium, or poorly.
It
I
ends
imagine that.
poorly, but
Mhm.
it's also supposed to end very abruptly with the second person, the one who's been wronged, just kind of shuts it down and just leaves,
Mhm.
leaving the end of it just really, really tense. There's not really
Mhm.
a good resolution. It just kind of
Mhm.
ends.
So you're looking for your transition from physical to
I'll be right
verbal.
back. One sec.
Mhm.
So is it possible to like have the person who's doing the revealing say the bombshell and then the receiver of that is going to be like what and stop and then they take a beat and then they start bantering.
It's the way it's planned is so the reveal of the person that's going to be fighting is going to come in, and then the fight's actually going to start. Bits and pieces of the information are revealed mid-fight. So the one who's like really hurt by all this, yeah, no, he can't really get after the main character because they're the ones actually fighting. So it's one of those he really wants to get after them, but it is like the worst possible moment because it could cost them a lot. The fight ends up finishing, and then that's when he jumps in and he's like, okay, you lied about all of this. And that's where the fight goes in, and that's where I'm kind of that tension, it just goes straight from physical to non-physical. And that's where I'm lost, is just that switch there, that transition there.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like if you take a beat and have the something that one character says affect the other character to the point where they have to stop and be like, wait, what did you just say? And then transition into the verbal. And that way it kind of they're both it's the shock is so enormous that they just kind of the sword falls or whatever and they're like whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, it is a sword
That
fall, but
again.
it's like information revealed. They're still fighting. There's still physical fighting. The physical fight ends kind of abruptly, and
That's what
then
yeah,
that's
right
when
there.
the verbal does. That's when the
Yeah.
verbal
Yeah,
starts.
I think I still consider that part of the fight, actually. I would still structure that as part of the overall fight sequence, even though they physically stop sequence. I think the way I would look at that, at least just me personally, when I think about fight sequences.
No, yeah, that's actually not a bad idea, because it really is still a fight, just there's absolutely no physicalness, so I guess that's just where I'm tripped up, because I'm so used to doing the physical.
And because I did... I'll go for it, Calvin.
When you think about a verbal fight can sometimes be more intense than a physical fight.
Oh, yeah.
Because you think about it, you're not hurting the person, but you're not hurting them physically, but you could be tearing them down in such a way that they don't recover from it.
That's kind of actually what I'm building up towards.
Well, you want to keep the physical action going. Not that they're engaging physically, but have you ever seen scenes where the two they're kind of circling one another, maybe dragging the weapons, and they're like, they hit the sand and things like that. They're still being aggressive and they're being very, they're taunting.
I've had scenes like that before where there's more dialogue than actual action,
right?
But there's still very intense action.
Yes.
Well, you could look at the fight between Smith and Neo, the final fight in the Matrix series, the way in their final fight, they are fighting, but there are instances like where they hit each other, they throw each other away, and then like Smith will start talking and then Neo will respond, and then they kind of get back into the fight.
Yep.
You can integrate it, maybe intermix it.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea, but for these two characters specifically, it would not work. And it's only for these two, just because of the situation going on. But that is a good idea. I haven't watched The Matrix in like forever, but I do sort of remember some things from that.
The way like I said, just watch that final fight between Neo and Mr. Smith. That's kind of what you reminded me of, the way it's like they'd be fighting and then they'd be stopping and there would be a minute or two of dialogue and then they'd go back into the fight.
Are you talking about when he right before he gains the power?
No, after he gains the power. I'm talking about in the final fight of the series when they're fighting in the Matrix and in the rain.
When there's tons and tons of Smiths everywhere.
Yeah, but only the main one fights against Neo. And when you think about it, they're fighting, then they'll stop, they'll have a little talk, then they'll get back into the fight. Maybe instead of trying to find a way to abruptly stop the fight, have some dialogue that brings them to a point where like, okay, we need to stop fighting to hash this out. That would just be my suggestion.
Yeah. I mean, I could agree with that. I mean, I think overall, so I think it's thinking about the each of the individual beats instead of feeling like, oh, this is a separate thing. It's all one sequence. I would argue that the emotional part of the fight and the physical part of the fight are part of the same story beat. I would actually argue that it's one story beat, but it's two halves of a story beat as compared to two separate story beats. I think that's the way I would look at it personally.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I'm used to writing fight scenes, and I mean, I've written verbal fights before and physical fights. I've just never combined them in the same moment. I guess is why I was having such an issue, is trying to figure that out. I'm used to writing them separately.
It's I had asked myself that same thing when I was working on one of the Scarecrow fights. I want to say there's two major fight sequences during the Coliseum battles, and something I had asked myself was, how do I balance characters attacking and punching and fighting each other, and then having moments of respite, or brief moments where Scarecrow can have interiority when he's dealing with some type of internal conflict without losing the pacing. And I think I balanced that with using a little bit of dialogue and pacing it between action sequences, short, brief interiority moment where he faces off against a character, and then back to action sequences. And then I created that repetition throughout. I guess when I thought about it, I thought of action sequences that I'd seen done really well. And I was like, okay, well, how do I alternate an action sequence when it's not only action? But that was just something that worked for me. And I mean, we'll see how people think about it.
Well, another good scene would be Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader versus Luke on the Death Star.
I've never seen that.
You should watch it.
What? Wait, whoa.
I have not watched Star Wars. I've seen The Mandalorian, and that's about it. Yes, I know Crazy's having a heart attack, so.
Crazy's going to lose it.
in all seriousness, you should see that scene too, because there are a lot of intense moments where Luke and Darth Vader are fighting, and then Luke will deactivate his lightsaber. They'll go into a conversation, and then like Darth Vader will attack again. They're back into the fight.
Yeah, they're like physically sparring as much as they are verbally sparring.
There is also, while they're fighting each other, there is a very intense verbal fight going on,
and a big revelation too.
That too.
What? You guys are actually making me think of a scene from Warriors from the first arc that I might also go back and revisit as well to look at it from a writing standpoint. When Firestar loses his first life in the fight against Blood Clan, and he has to go to Star Clan for just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely no action in the way. It's just he dies. He's in Star Clan. He's yelling at Blue Star for a moment, and then she speaks, and then he goes back to the fight. I might relook at that as well, because watching is one thing, reading is another. But if I tried to do both, I could probably get a better feel for how I need to go about it. Then
There you go.
But thank you guys.
No. You're welcome. Fight sequences are always fun. Mm-hmm. Fight sequences are a lot of fun. Oh, yeah. Oh man, yeah.
I love writing arguments.
What was that?
I love writing arguments. Arguments are fun.
It really depends, but all right, we'll go with it.
I'll admit, arguments are fun. I will admit, this is probably, between these characters, one of my biggest. Mm-hmm. Even in the Pirates series, an argument has not had quite this
intensity,
this level of impact.
Mm-hmm.
Most of Pirates, all of the big fights are physical. No, of all my stories, I think this one actually might be the biggest verbal.
You can learn so much about characters by how they handle anger and insults, and it's really a good time to like learn to delve by how they react and feel, and if they are sparring or if they're just kind of going, oh well, I'll turn the other cheek, and or like what kind of trauma is bubbling up and that's being triggered, and let's bring it.
Yeah, I think I have my first arguments in Scarecrow about halfway through the third act. Now that I think about it, I think that's the first full argument I have with the characters. Scarecrow is just so optimistic usually.
Yeah, that's what I've gotten from him.
You have enough external stress from all the weird stuff that's going on and things that they encounter. I don't think you need the party falling apart either. You said save that for the Dark Night of the Soul, which is good. You're doing good.
Oh man!
Yeah, and on that drastic bombshell, I must take my leave, for I will be a busy man tomorrow. But it was good being here with y'all.
We appreciate y'all, Crazy.
Yes.
Later, Crazy.
Hi, Crazy.
Later. Have a good night, everyone. Stay awesome.
Does everyone have a pretty good thing of like Dark Night of the Soul? Does everyone have a pretty good like Dark Night of the Soul beat in their story?
I'm trying to figure out if I do or not.
I haven't gotten there yet. I'm trying to plan for it. I don't know exactly how this is going to work out yet. I'm not there. I'm only in the first half, so I'm trying to figure out what it's going to be.
What about the rest of you guys? Fun Dark Night of the Soul moments?
I got to go back and look at mine to make sure it is exactly what it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I do, but at this point, I'm like, well, which dark moment? Because there's like a lot of dark moments in the story.
I think people can generally argue that there's 2 points in a story where Dark Night of the Soul generally happens. I think it can either happen in the lead up to the climax or it happens during the climax itself. I think generally it's considered a rock bottom moment, the worst rock bottom of the moment of the character, which causes them to have to understand what they learned from Act 1 and from Act 2 to then get whatever resolution they need to then finish off and kill the bad guy, win the final conflict. I think because Matrix is on my mind, the Dark Night of the Soul moment in Matrix is when Neo is on the ground feeling like he had just been killed by agents, and then he realizes, oh, he's actually part of the Matrix, and he is the one. And then you see him gain the powers. Dark Night of the Soul moment in Lord of the Rings is, I want to say, Frodo and Gollum's fight at the at Mordor, and Frodo. I think them realizing that when they're fighting off against Gollum, and realizing that they have to give up the ring to Gollum with Frodo and Sam.
I don't know. I think there's like a elongated. It's almost like a double hit, because there's also when he gives up on the rocks and he's like, I can't go on. I can't do it. I'm failing my mission.
You could argue that with Sam there. Yeah.
Sam's the one who's like, I got you. Frodo hasn't learned anything until after he's free of the ring.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good point. Actually, you could argue that that's the setup to Dark Night of the Soul for that beat. Actually,
I think it's just a big long. I think because you can have multiple, and also, the all is lost moment is literally the character is giving up. If you're gonna really delve, they're done. They have checked out. So, but it depends. Also, not every story has to do that. Obviously, depending on your genre. But I think in that one, it was very well earned because I mean, Frodo was freaking exhausted. His mind was unraveling. His body was done, and so I think that whole thing, up until the main climax. I think the climax actually is the battle between him and Gollum. Who's going to win the ring? Who's going to sacrifice either themselves or actually give up the ring? Because the whole point of the story was get this ring into the fire, right? Into the lava. And all of a sudden, nope. It's like, well, wait a minute. So I think that battle is more the climactic moment. Is Frodo going to be the hero, or is he going to be the villain now?
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think I could agree. I could get behind that. I think Star Wars Dark Knight moment in Star Wars is probably when Luke is deciding whether or not to kill Vader or not. In their final, in the third one, I think it's in the middle of their fight, and he has that moment where the Emperor is trying to convince him to kill him, and he decides to save his father.
He just starts wailing on him, and but you have to, when you see it, it goes through all of the levels. Don't even get me started on Star Wars, Kaufman, for real. The Ewoks are losing the battle. The rebellion, the forces are losing the battle. Everybody is losing the battle, and Luke is losing the battle with the light. And it's only when he turns off his lightsaber, and that's when things start to turn around. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
It's interesting with Scarecrow. I think I actually set up for 2 Dark Night of the Soul moments. I think I set up for an early one where all seems lost at the beginning of Act 4, and then I set up for the core one somewhere like 3/4 of the way into the climax battle. Yeah, it's fun. Who doesn't want to punish our characters severely in these strange worlds? If anyone can be blamed of putting your characters through a very dark world, I guess I am it. All right, guys. On that note, that's a great one. By the way, I had seen in the chat, What's the Deal and Noelle, you guys have posted some great comments. You guys posted some really, really great ideas. People, go check them out. Go read them. They're a little lengthier for me to read, but they're actually some really, really good ideas there. I absolutely love that. Some great feedback. But I want to make sure we have enough time for another writing sprint. So we're going to hop into our second writing sprint. Let's try to get some progress. Let's try to see just what we can see. So we're going to push into it. Our second writing sprint, we're going to aim for 30 minutes. We're going to up the timer to what we can do. Now, for those of you who are not part of the Discord community, come join us on Discord. Discord is the place where we hang out with the other writers in the community. I'll drop there right now, the Discord link here for y'all. Every week, we do a weekly writing challenge. Our weekly writing challenge this week is pitch us a random story idea. What's the most random story idea that you have? So come join us on the Discord in the Discord weekly writing challenge. The winners of each week will be voted on, and you'll be added to the hall of epic writers. So that's what I got for you guys. Come join us in the Discord and let's get a writing sprint going. So we're going to queue it up. We got, I have to screen share. Here we go. So queue it up. I got 30 minutes on the clock. We're going to do it. So whether you're writing, editing, revising, author branding, brainstorming, or something else in between, come join us because it's time to write now. All right, and that is the writing sprint. Wonderful, wonderful. How did that writing sprint treat you? Hopefully, you were able to make some progress. Just hopefully. Let us know in the chat. Were you able to get any words? Megan, nice. High five. 590 words, but 1060 for the night. Absolutely love that. Vomika, 150 words with a little one wanting to be held is not bad, especially when you have your kids trying to distract you. Totally understandable. Noel, all right, did 350 more words. Looking good. Nice. So it sounds like we've been making some good progress in the chat. What about the rest of you guys? Any luck?
Starting to get to my call of action beat in Techno Mage.
Nice. You said you're a call to action.
Yeah, I mean, I've already done with the story. Now I'm going back and
Oh, you're revising.
Yes, for the first time.
Nice. I want to say that my rough draft after finishing Scarecrow was very rough, but when I finished it the first time, like, yeah, it's going to be in a great place. The second draft will be great. And then after going through the second draft, it needed a lot of work. Oh man. That's awesome though. How are you liking the story though overall, Calvin?
Oh yeah, I did. I was telling JL I ended the cliffhanger with a bit of a twist, so I just hope no one sees it coming.
Who doesn't love a good twist at the end of a chapter? I know I do. I love cliffhangers so much. What about you guys? Any luck? I think so.
Hey, JL, you're still on mute.
No, I've got it. No, wait a minute. I did not mute myself down there this time. That was you.
I did.
No,
it's because I mute everyone during the sprint.
Really?
Like rude.
So rude. No, I'm success.
Nice.
I got the tension in there. I'm in love with what's happening. It's so much fun. It's hot and it's like there. So like I said, the protagonist is my main character, female main character is trying to let him think that his little seduction scheme is working. And the funny thing is that in her mind, it kind of is. She's fighting with herself and she's like, I can't do this. I can't do, but boy, this. So yeah, we're having a little internal battle, but she's like, no, but wait, no, but
I love that back and forth. That actually sounds really fun.
I'm having a good time now.
Yay.
Yeah, not much to add for me. Like I said, I'm just trying to get through this reading here. It's not bad reading. It's actually pretty awesome. It's funny how much I feel like I can learn from reading other writers. It's like, oh, that's a great line. Oh, I like how you use that. So
we really do. We really, really do learn from other writers. I didn't realize initially when I had started this journey this past couple of years how much I was going to learn just by critiquing other writers' things on stream. I've learned so much. And then we take it back into our own styles, right? And we're like, some things work, some things don't, and figuring out how we improve our own process.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We get stuck in our own ruts a little bit, don't we? Where we kind of get used to our rhythms and our patterns and our personal tics and then our vocabulary, and we start kind of getting lulled by, and then all of a sudden we read something else, someone else's work, and like, damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. All right. Hang on. Challenge accepted.
Yeah, that's that's where I'm at. Last week or so, or I forget, I think it was last week, days are starting to get blend, right? But I was just strictly me and Pru writing it. We're just working hard, hour after hour after hour, dark epic fantasy romance, or dark fantasy romance. So now it's like contemporary second chance romance. Whole different person's approach to writing. I'm like, oh, this is lovely, but it still has elements like they deal with memories and stuff like that because of the second chance, or like things that have happened in the past. I'm like, oh, my story has lots of stuff from memory. Like, I like this. This is good. So yeah, it's a nice breath of fresh air. I'm loving it.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. It's interesting because in my past, I've always bounced around between so many different projects, and I think this is the first time these past couple of years where I've consistently stuck 98% of the time to just the one the one project. It's kind of refreshing, actually, for me.
Nice.
Sometimes I think if we get into too much of a nice little rut with our writing, it's fun to kind of put it aside, take a moment, and actually like not only read other things, but write something different, a quick short story, or just something to kind of I have a I have a dog suddenly.
Or go play with your pet.
Or this,
They're your
yeah.
mascot.
You're a good boy. So yeah, but it's good to like work on other things just to kind of get that refreshed, new characters, new voices, new attitudes, and it kind of gives you a bit of a boost.
So we were talking about genres earlier. So I technically finished writing the Dark Fantasy Romance story last year.
Okay.
Right at the end, basically. So,
and
but
additionally, when you say you finished writing it, did you finish writing like a rough draft of it,
Yeah,
or
my
have you
rough
taken it
draft.
through the whole? Okay,
Yeah,
so you
no-
have the full draft. Okay,
right.
and now you're just kind of like you have to take it through like the revision process.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. My favorite part of the experience.
Everyone said like the two parts of the process that writers seem to not like is either revisions, editing, or the marketing side of it. And I think I'm a weirdo because I like the whole thing. I like every part of it.
That's what. So, what do you like about each of these parts? So, I was going to say something, but you got the trifecta over here. You know, I got a triangle over here. So, like, tell me what you like of each of those parts there specifically.
I think revision is like I have the core story, but now I have to take the different pieces and put the puzzle together of my original masterpiece. For me, the revision is kind of like a game. For editing, it's fixing. It's I know I already have the things there, but how do I fix to make the characters and make the beats as awesome as possible? Because I know things that I come up with are probably going to keep getting better and better, especially when I get feedback and thoughts from others. And then for me, marketing, marketing and social media is its whole thing. But for me, it's every single chance I have to market is talking about what I love and sharing it with others. And for me, that's an easy win. It's just trying to figure out how do you go about that with streaming, social media, and all the different minutia in between.
That makes sense. That's refreshing. I can get that. I could work towards that feeling about it all. I think the marketing part would be the hardest because it's like, how do you talk about your story? You know, like
As if it's
not
the best thing ever in the entire world, Adeshale. That's how you do it. This is the greatest work humanity has ever seen.
Yep.
If you don't read this, you are a sadder person in life.
Yes, that is exactly the approach I'm going to take, Joelle. Anyone who has not read The Last Scarecrow is going to be missing the true meaning of life. Absolutely. This is going to be the best action adventure story they've ever read since The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's right. I really suck at marketing because I have a hard time with that exact problem. Like,
and then I'll be inviting all like the negative reviews. They'll be like, "Worst garbage ever. This is no Lord of the Rings. This is no masterpiece."
I thought it was 42. I thought it was 42.
You have to be careful though, because I have seen some authors, not in the marketing like per se, but I saw this one author praising himself in his bio about how groundbreaking he was, because everybody knows we write our own bios, even though you write them in third person. And this dude was like, best fictional writer, trend-setting, award-winning, all this stuff. And then I went and I was like, this guy is full of himself. Oh, sorry, that's a bark collar. You may have heard the beeping. And it came off like completely the wrong way. It was very off-putting because we know he's talking himself up. And it's like, if there's one thing to say that maybe there's something a fresh take on, and that's fine. But getting too aggrandizing is just I'm like, I will never read anything you want. But I did go and actually read the snippet in Amazon. And I'm like, I shall withhold my opinion because I have nothing nice to say. But it was just too bad. It was
that can be the danger. And I feel like groundbreaking. I feel like it's okay to use that language if other people tell you that, then you just incorporate that. I feel like it's like getting a really cool nickname. Like, it's kind of hard to give yourself a super cool nickname, but if someone else does, like, it's acceptable. You know, like you just take it and run. Same
Yeah.
Yeah,
here.
that's definitely happened a lot where I've just seen nicknames that other people throw up in comments before. And like, all right, we'll just run with that nickname. That sounds fun.
You still have to be careful though about whatever you're saying about your book, because if you don't deliver, every reviewer is going to let you know that.
Yeah.
But I
Or
also
if you
do
do deliver.
believe, and the thing is, like, I do honestly believe I'm going to deliver the best action adventure story that I possibly can. So when I say the things, I do believe it. And then I invite the bad reviews. Give it to me. Why is it terrible?
Yeah.
No,
Well,
no,
no,
no, no,
saying
no,
that-
no, no.
Saying that you're going to deliver the best you can, that's fine. But when you're like, this is the best ever, you're never going to see anything better. And it's like, well, it's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not going to advertise based on this is the best I could do. So I hope you like
Yes.
enjoy.
Please like it. Please like my book. Please have another.
Noel, you're absolutely right. You said be humble, be nice. Completely agree. If there's one thing that I believe in, it's choose to be anything in the world, choose to be kind. So I think humility is a part of it. And I think the key is how do you figure out the humility part of it with the social media and the attention and the authenticity part of it. I think that's all part of the journey of how do we present ourselves and then how do we put the stories in the best spotlight for readers to be interested in them.
Just make the work with the story. Of course, I'm kidding about, selling your base the best thing ever, but work with the story. Let the story speak for itself. Find the strongest beats, and those are what you use for your tagline. Find a really great line in your book that you love, and you go bam with an image, and it's like, ooh, coming soon or whatever. And you try to be as flashy with with your own material, not with you talking about it, but let the material speak. And I find those, like when I come across those kinds of things, I'm more attracted to that because now I'm getting a piece of the story. I'm getting a piece of the writer and the writing, and I'm not getting the writer going, I wrote this amazing book and you should all totally look at it because it's so good, and that just turns you off, so.
I think I would spoof. I think I would make like shorts or TikTok videos that are spoofing of me talking about how it's the most amazing thing ever, then hating on myself and using that in itself as the spoof kick. And then because I know the way attention works, people would think that's funny and they're like, oh wait, so is it as good as he says or is it as bad? And then just use that to pull people in. I think that would be fun. But I'm also really, really fine with making fun of myself. I'm very, very fine with self-effacing humor.
Just remember to be like JL and tap into your inner Valley girl.
All right. I'll try to. Thank you.
Totally. You have one, Kaufman.
Well, we absolutely love you all joining us this week. This is our Right Now Writers group where we're joined every single week by writers in the community. Do you want to join us next week in future sessions, whether you want to hang out in the chat or come on stream with us? The writers group is our weekly check-in where we write together, we talk together, and we just try to make a little bit of progress. So we'll be back next Wednesday for 84th meeting with the Right Now Writers group. So make sure that you come join us, whether it's in the Discord. If you're new here, tap that follow or subscribe button. I stream every day, 750 consecutive streams and counting and more. So we'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow for another daily writing stream. Tomorrow's Thursday, probably an early afternoon one. So I'll be back. I'm Kaufman. That's me. I'll let the others outro themselves. I'll kick it over to you, Calvin.
I'm Calvin. Keep an eye out for the Techno Mage. I'm posting it on YouTube every now and then.
Love it. Calvin is definitely going to throw it up in our Discord so we can find it as well. And make sure to subscribe to Calvin's channel so that way you can follow that. So cool. And if you're interested in seeing the first part of the story, we actually just critiqued it on the critique stream this past weekend. So you can go check out the story and critique stream for a preview. Adeshale.
Hi. Hey, follow me on adeshale.writes anywhere or send me an email at adeshale.writes@gmail.com.
Excellent. And last but not least,
hello, JLD here. And if you want to keep the party going, join me in Writers Inc. right after Kaufman's stream in my Discord. And we'll keep writing, sprinting, and critiquing.
Woo, I was like, I have to remember to get that invite. All right, wonderful. And I'll drop it in the chat. So yes, if you want to keep the party going, go join JL. And it's like a large every Wednesday writers group. where they all hang out, they workshop stories, they play writing games, they talk. It's the after hours stuff. And you just
Don't
go hang
forget
out
the
with other
Red Bull.
writers. It's super casual, super fun, super low. You can be off camera, you can be on camera, you can do whatever you want. It's a very laid back writers group. So definitely, if you want to go join that, I'll drop the link. Writers Circle Discord. Perfect. So I just dropped that invite link in the chat. So go join them because it will be a blast. But unfortunately, that brings us to the end of the stream. So don't forget, words are wind, but stories are forever. I'm Kaufman. We're a bunch of crazy writers, and we'll catch you on a future stream. Take care, guys. Stories are forever. I'm Kaufman, and I'll catch you on tomorrow. Stay creative, writers. It's time to write
Right now.
Sorry.
Right now, not right now, but right now. Read now, right now. Is that right?
Words are wind, but stories are forever.